Welcome to the third lecture of 8x8 series on architectural theory. This series brings a set of 8 lectures of 8 minutes each on important aspects of theorizing architecture. The first 2 lectures that we discussed what is architectural theory and what is modern construct of thought. This lecture we shall discuss about the social construct of modern. Within the topic of social construct of modern, I shall articulate 2 main questions. Question 1. Why and how social aspect is required to articulate the architectural theory. Question 2. How modern architecture is to be theorized from social construct of modern. The early 18th century till mid 18th century, history witnessed important transition or change in everything that happened in society. Society was emerging with newer form of production and consumption pattern. It was tending towards rationality in their thought and act. Let's understand this newer form of production, consumption and tending change. The trending and change were in 3 important areas of existence of self, society and nation. The first change, political change. This change happened from transition from feudal system to republican based political system. The role of society became intense in shaping the political view of nation rather than determined by privileged few in feudal system. Economic change. The production and distribution of goods transformed from subsistence-based economy to market-based economy. The market-based economy was determined by surplus and profit. And very important one, intellectual change. The change in a way we would think were substantially altered and slowly moved into the realm of reason, research and science. Middle of 18th century, especially in Western Europe to begin with, and then the rest of the world realized that they are part of new age, new era and fresh thought and ideas which were radically different from medieval age. The change that we discuss transformed the society in 3 areas: capitalism, industrial revolution and secularism. The economic change, political change and ideological change led to newer problems. The new science emerged from such necessitated condition is known as sociology by Auguste Comte, while rational transformation of society was theorized by Max Weber was known as modernity. The intellectual transformation led into 2 types of change in the society. The first type, the enlightenment through reason, research and science, known as means, or what we call it modernity. The science of study and understanding economic, political and intellectual change in society which are sociologically based. The second one, the counter-enlightenment through understanding of peace, harmony and cordiality, known as goals, or what we call it modern, which is figured in technology, architecture and urbanism, which are sensical based as against the sociological based. The first one, sociology, determine the way in which you theorize modernity. The second one, sensical based, determine the way in which you act and achieve modern. The word modernity and modern was further understood and explained by Max Weber as efficiency, control and predictability. Architecture began to shape by such prevailing thought and influences of literary scholars. In this context, the manifesto by Louis Sullivan, Form Follows Function, or writing of Adolphe Loos, Ornamentation and Crime, is a product of sensical thinking. while machine for living is a production of sociological thinking. The modern and modernity divided the architectural community into two spheres: critical thought and meaningful act. The Bauhaus remains only single effort to bridge these two spheres. So the argument in earlier lecture that architecture began to quest for secular, non-hierarchical, and more functional manifestation is now contextualized for better understanding. The quest for logic and rationality is either shaped by means, that is research and science, or shaped by goals, that is act of making. The act of making allowed various interpretation like form follows function, ornamentation crime, less is more, or served and servant spaces. Hence, open-endedness of modern and modernity allowed several interpretation and many individualistic approaches, which are very similar to various interpretation in social, economic, and political reformation. Now, this quotation makes some sense in terms of its interpretation and its context. I hope that this lecture has enabled to contextualize the word modern and modernity. The next lecture shall be about the technological construct of modern and shall be uploaded in due course. Thank you.